Hello and welcome to Brave Astrology. We're going to talk about the solar eclipse of August 12th, 2026, and how it will be resonating through each of the 12 houses for your ascendant. This eclipse is falling in the constellation of Leo, while it is in the Vedic nakshatra Ashlesha, which is symbolized by the coiled serpent representing Kundalini energy. I've analyzed this eclipse intensely, and this is a very positive eclipse. And the major theme I'm seeing in this chart is a marriage or a commitment of some sort, which leads to growth and expansion in some realm of your life. And that doesn't have to mean a literal marriage, although it could, but it can be a commitment to any goal or outcome you wish to achieve. So we're going to go through each of the houses for each of the ascendants to see how this wonderful, wonderful eclipse could manifest in your life. Okay, so Aries, this eclipse is happening in your 5th house. I mean, wow. This is a double-decker of a house for this eclipse to be falling in, because it's in the constellation of Leo, while it is also in your 5th house, which is, again, a double dose of Leo energy. It is joyful and charismatic, and Leo pride in abundance. I mean, are you the Leo king or the Leo queen or something? Because you must be, and it is time to have some fun and be creative. And I just know you've got some projects and ideas you've been wanting to explore and finally put out there into the world. And if you're a parent, this might offer some fun and joyful experiences for you and your kids as well. If they're in art class or music class or anything they feel drawn to for creative expression, they will flourish with your encouragement. So enjoy this eclipse and express yourself and encourage others to express themselves and enjoy the abundance of enthusiasm that this eclipse is bringing you. Okay, Taurus. If your ascendant is in Taurus, then this eclipse is happening in your 4th house. And this is bringing a transformation and creativity to your home and domestic comforts. And given the geometry of the chart and the house-like structure formed by 5 major planets, the 4th house is a very interesting house for this eclipse to be located in. You might find yourself renovating or redecorating your home in some manner. Leo here takes pride in the presentation of their home and their living space. Some of you may be getting ready to buy and or sell a home, or involved in a real estate transaction in some way, or the real estate industry in some way, or even in the process of building and designing your own home. That's a whole lot of creative energy right there. But it could even be a creative new approach to how you clean and take care of your home. I find that when I experience 4th house transits, I tend to go on cleaning sprees of my living space above and beyond the typical spring cleaning, and it makes me feel so much more organized and efficient, and thus enhances the other areas of my life as well. So get creative and enhance your living space, because it will just all around make you feel so much more comfortable and secure, and will improve your life elsewhere as well. Gemini. Okay, so this eclipse is happening in your 3rd house. So this is going to be bringing a transformation in your local travels and your local community and your neighborhood and your communications. So this eclipse, it's calling all LARPers and role players and creative storytellers, because This is your time to shine. I get the feeling that some of you may be finally initiating participation in some game nights or fantasy role playing or going for local walks around the neighborhood. Who knows, maybe you'll finally talk to that neighbor you always see but never have spoken to before. And then, maybe they'll invite you to one of their cookouts or their barbecues or something. And, the Leo energy, it is providing that confidence to have that small talk and to initiate those conversations because you never know where that small talk could lead to or where those local journeys could lead to. You might just enjoy just taking that day trip. Sometimes day trips are just a really fun, rejuvenating, easy way to take a quick vacation. And I can speak from personal experience when I say that some of my most interesting life experiences came because I had the courage to approach someone I found interesting and just start off with something as simple as hello. That's all it takes. Just initiate the conversation. Okay, so Cancer, this eclipse is happening in your second house. So this is going to be offering creative transformation of your personal resources and the confidence in what you have. Taurus is about possessions and what you have and what you feel like you have, And sometimes in life, people are just so preoccupied with comparing their possessions to others' possessions as a measuring tool for confidence and self-worth. And you know how they say comparison is the thief of joy? It truly is, because what people often fail to remember is that physical stuff is often, most often, a depreciating asset. And that only decreases in value. So while you're feeling all sad that someone else has the newest impressive car or high-end luxury items, they've also created a considerable debt for themselves that will never increase in value. But they won't tell you that. They just seem like they have everything, even though they might not, because they spent it all. Meanwhile, you've been saving and putting away savings for the future. And it's not so easy to show that off in the streets like a flashy new car, but you've got a lot to be proud of. And this eclipse will shift your perspective to what it means to have and to acquire. And you might have some financial opportunities open up for you. So enjoy that. Leo. Oh, wow. Okay, so this eclipse, it's happening in your first house. So I'm seeing some creative transformations of your identity and how you present yourself to the world. Leo is fifth house energy, which is an extension of the first house, in the sense that in the first house, there's like an ego or an identity in the sense of how you are perceived by the outside world. And that identity drives one's self-esteem. Whereas the fifth house and Leo type energy isn't just about one's identity and one's, uh, entrance and existence in the world and the self-esteem that one has in that identity, but is about what one produces and puts out forth into the world. And this could include one's projects, one's art, even one's literal children. I feel that this will be an eclipse where there's a transformation as to what you are putting out into the world. And that, in effect, will shift your identity as you knew it to be. And if there's one sentence to remember from all of this, it's this: I create, I produce, therefore I am. Okay, so Virgo, this eclipse is happening in your 12th house. So let's talk about the 12th house. It's very mystical, and people are often very confused by it, which, makes sense because it is a Piscean, Neptunian type energy where it's not always very clear, and they're trying to figure it out, but they just can't put their finger on it. But the 12th house, put it this way. If the 6th house is about public service, the 6th house being on the opposite axis, the 12th house is about private service, and where one delves into the subconscious and retreat to rejuvenate one's soul. Like this. Have you ever heard of retreats, like yoga retreats and things like that? It's like a place where people can go just to like renew their spiritual energy and their spiritual souls. That's a very much like a 12th house energy where you are retreating into something to renew yourself at the most vital, basic core of your beingness. But this is a pretty different polarity from the Leo energy, which is all about showing off and confidence as it's radiated to the outside world. So I feel with this eclipse in this house that, you'll be having a spiritual renaissance and repair within your soul in regards to what gives you confidence and self-esteem. So this eclipse is essentially highlighting the fact that your confidence needs to come from within. And this eclipse will have you doing that inner work to develop your internal Leo vibrancy. And if you've been wanting to try art journaling or other creative outlets as a therapeutic process, you might find yourself finally doing that from this eclipse activation, because it's conjunct the fixed star Alganubi in the constellation of Leo, which is in the mouth of the lion. So it's asking you to express your innermost feelings and to recognize those subconscious thoughts. So while Leo and the Ashlesha Nakshatra are basically saying if you want to shine externally, then the cleansing and transformation needs to happen within. I wish you all a very happy and healthy journey throughout this whole entire eclipse, because again, I am loving the energy of this particular eclipse's signature energy, and it's really going to be a positive change. So channel it well, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you can, and then let me know how things are going for you and how you're experiencing this eclipse, because I would love to hear it. All right, everyone, take care. Again, this is Brave Astrology, and be well.